Canada.
It says, in the last days, I will pour out my spirit on all flesh, and your sons and your daughters will prophesy. That's from Joel 2:28. A prophetic word spoken so that the believers at the coming of the Messiah would know what to expect when they are accepted into the new covenant. You see, in the Bible, everything was made by covenant. When Abraham made a covenant with God, Noah made a covenant with God, there was always a sacrifice. Something had to be killed in order for that covenant to be made. And why? Because of the seriousness of the covenant. The way that God sees things is very different from us, but deep inside we have the same values, is that our promises, our commitments have to be honored. And when they're not, it brings a separation between two parties. And that separation is the same understanding of the word death. Death is separation from life. And if you take a loan from the bank and you don't pay your mortgage, you don't pay your Visa bill, what ends up happening is they repossess your property, or they intrude in your life. There's a division, there's a default. Sometimes it's so bad that they could even step in and sell your whole property. And that's where the division takes place. I hate taking loans from the bank, because every time you take a loan from the bank or you borrow anything from the bank is always over your head, expecting you to make those payments. And when you know, they're your best friends when they want to offer you a Visa card or a MasterCard. They show up in your email. We'll give you $10,000. Don't worry. We'll give you 50 grand. We'll give you a mortgage. It's so easy. But when you start defaulting your payments, they're not your friends anymore. There's a separation between you and the bank. They're not so friendly. They're not so kind. And this is the concept of covenants. And this is why Old Testament covenants were always made by blood. You know, when we sign a contract, we sign with ink on the dotted line. In the Old Covenant, they sacrifice something and saying, if you don't fulfill your covenant, there's going to be a separation. There's a severe consequence between you and I. And how much more is our relationship with God serious? You see, God is a holy God. And so the consequences of breaking covenant with God, a perfect being, is death, the Bible says. The wages of sin is death. A violation of our covenant, our agreements with God, is death, because there cannot be any embrace.